Can you see why Prue and Franny didn't like Kat? The feeling was mutual, too. Kat thought that Franny was a klutz, and she thought that Prue was just jealous. Luckily, Sherbet provided lots of entertaining things to occupy the girls of Gumm Street, and so they really didn't need one another. It had always been that way, and everyone believed it would always be that way. Well, everyone was wrong. 1. Franny. Franny liked the tops of things. She liked mountain tops and rooftops, and she wanted to be at the top of her class and a top-notch cartwheeler. Why? Because in first grade, Franny became painfully aware of the middle and the possibility that she might be dismally average. Franny sighed. Now spring break was almost over, and to take her mind off the horrible reality of going back to school, Franny stood at the top of No. 3 Gumm Street. Up there, she didn't feel average at all. She felt like Sir Edmund Hillary on the summit of Mount Everest, or Amelia Earhart buzzing around in her airplane. Up in her tower, she was fearless Franny Muggs, queen of all she surveyed. She squinted through her binoculars. No sign of Prue, no sign of Kat. Good, she thought. She swung around in the opposite direction to have a look at No. 5 Gumm Street. Not a trace was left from the rogue blizzard that had blown in from the west a few weeks before. It had surprised everyone in town. A blizzard in Sherbet? No one even owned a snow shovel. One midnight right after that, Franny could have sworn she'd seen lights flickering about inside the old wreck of a house at No. 5 Gumm Street. She had ducked behind the railing of her balcony and strained her eyes through the glasses to see, but the lights had disappeared. Probably zombies, Franny had decided. If you believe in zombies, and you should, No. 5 Gumm Street was the perfect place for them. The house had been vacant for as long as Franny could remember, and vines had taken over to such an extent that from a distance the house looked like a giant hairball. It leaned so badly to one side that it appeared as if it were caught in a perpetually stiff breeze. There were no signs of zombies today, though. Instead, Franny espied a moving van off in the distance. It came closer and halted right in front of No. 5. 2 men hopped out. They carried a few boxes and some ratty old furniture into the house. A moment later, a Ford Fiesta pulled up. A woman and a bird-like girl with a bedpillow tucked under her arm, who Franny figured was probably the woman's daughter, stepped out of the car. After a few quick trips, the moving men pulled themselves up into the truck and drove away. The woman and girl went inside through the double front doors that hung precariously from their hinges. Not 5 minutes had passed when another moving van arrived. The woman came out of the house, and there was a lot of discussion. The moving men kept pointing and shaking their heads yes, and the woman kept shaking her head no. It seemed like she didn't want whatever it was, and Franny was afraid the moving men were just going to leave, which would be awful because she was dying to know what was in the truck. But then the girl came outside and said something to the woman, and she seemed to give in. With much grunting and groaning, the moving men lifted an enormous, gleaming, grand piano from out of the truck and gentled it through the front doors. Franny went inside at this point. Her tower room was about the size of a large horse stall. There was a small freezer for her popsicles, a microwave for her hot chocolate, and a desk with a globe on it. Thumb-tacked to the small closet door was a calendar with a picture of Mount Everest and a quotation from Amelia Earhart. Adventure is worthwhile in itself. New people moving into the zombie house. Nothing as exciting as this had ever happened on Gumm Street. I'll bet there's not even any heat or running water inside that house, she thought with a thrill. Maybe in winter they'll have to melt snow to drink, like Sir Edmund Hillary and his faithful Sherpa Tenzing Norgay when they climbed Mount Everest. It was time to meet the new neighbors face to face. Franny hung her